subscribe, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free. Judge Ratha created a situation that he cannot control now in court. What Ratha did, after Mnisi warned Gininda not to do what he was doing in court, then because Ratha looked like he is scared of Gininda, I don't know what deal they have between him and Gininda. It is between them. But now it's affecting the court processes. Because look at it this way. Gininda, after finishing talking here, watch the video very closely. He talked whatever he wanted to say about Mnisi. Then instead of the judge, Ratha, taking control of the court and put his house in order, he called for break. He has never called for break or for lunch. What he did, he just stood up and gave a smile, look at Gininda, and give a smile, then walk to his chambers. Is this the way he should show us that he is an experienced judge? Because what he did there, I want everybody to look at this very closely.
But if the court can give indulgence, my lord, I just want to say, and I'll request the court, perhaps, my lord, to assist in that what was said by Advocate Mnisi, because that's exactly how I'm viewing it. It is insulting. For him, the word nonsensical or nonsense may mean something else if interpreted. But I think the context of how it's said may give a different meaning. I feel it's insulting and disrespectful. I don't think I've done anything contrary to being respectful to Advocate Mnisi ever since we started to deserve that. And I just want to request that we maintain the decorum of the court. We may differ with what I say. He will have the opportunity when he cross-examine me as to why I said that, why did I base those expertise, and challenge me on it, my lord. And the court will then make a ruling. I was simply making my observation, not testifying as an expert, to say these were the pointers that convinced me that they were intruders. Not that I was saying, my lord, the expert or whoever did the work were wrong or right. I was simply saying, after the matter was given to me, I had to analyze and make a decision as to whether indeed there were no intruders or were there intruders. And if there were no intruders, my lord, I would have given the same evidence to say, this is what I have, this is what the DNA is saying, and based on that, I was then convinced that there were no intruders. But in this instance, I'm simply pointing things that convinced me that they were intruders. Not that I'm reinterpreting or testifying on behalf of the expert. It's simply that, my lord. But the mere point of my statement, my lord, is just to request that we treat each other with respect. That's all, my lord. The difference is, I know we will bump head with my colleagues because we're on the opposite sides. But at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. It's in the interest of justice and to help this cause to come to a just conclusion, but not to treat each other with disrespect. That's all I need to ask, my lord.
Engizocela ke ukuthi ke mhlambe ingaba yona ke inkantolo engangilekelela ke noma ke ukuthi ke kwenzeke ke lokho ukuthi ke ngicele ke ukuthi ke kube khona ke inhlonipho, ngoba ngendlela ke akhulume ngayo ke umnumzana ke Mnisi ke ngegama ke lelo albizile nonsensical ke mhlambe yena ke angalihumusha ke ngendlela ethize, kodwa mina ke ngihumusha ngendlela ethize, kodwa mina ke konakalisa nje ukuthi ke ungabi khona kwayo ke inhlonipho. Akukho ke sengikwenzile kuzofinyelela khona manje okungathi ke kuholele ekuthini ke mina ngimhloniphile noma angenza ke lokho. Mina ebengikwenza bengingaphikisani nobufakazi bakhe ke ungoti mayelana ke nolibofuzo noma ke iDNA. Bengichaza noma ngiveza nje ke izinto ke ezibe khona ezibe inkomba kumina ukusho ukuthi yebo babe khona abantu abangena kuleya muzi noma kule yandlu, noma ke bekuwukuthi babengekho ke bengizonikeza ke ubufakazi obufanayo ngithi yebo ke ngenxa yalokhu ke ngithola ke ukuthi cha abekho ke abantu ababengenile kuloya muzi. Ucela nje ukuthi ke nje kube khona ke nje indlela yokuhloniphana la enkantolo.
Okay, enough said. Can we adjourn for tea? I'm told it's 20 past.
Oh, okay, that's a good place.
Okay.
What paragraph number?
15.1.
Yes, I've got it, my lord.
Yes, just
Should I place it on record? Okay.
yes.
15.1 reads as follows: as you are still prepared to make a statement, I would like to know your source of information regarding the proposed statement you wish to make. what is then handwritten, my lord, it says, I was involved in the crime scene.
Lana ke u15.1 acelwayo ke ufakazi ukuthi awufunde uthi ke nanjengoba usayimisele ukwenza istatement ngifisa ukwazi noma ngicela ukwazi ngathanda ukwazi ukuthi ke le information onayo ibuya kuphi noma lo lwazi onalo libuya kuphi mayelana ke nestatement lesi ofisa ukuthi usenze. Impendulo ke ebhaliwe ke ngepen ithi ngangikhona ke noma ke yebo ngangikhona ke lapho kwindawo leyo yesigameko.
And when you read the portion which state I went in with Carlos and others took their positions as discussed during the planning. When we entered the house, Carlos shouted in isiZulu, Panzi, imali, and my cell phone. You mentioned that some of the witnesses do mention this fact.
That is correct, my lord.
Ngishilo ukuthi abanye bofakazi ke bakusho lokho ngoba lana ifundeka ngokuthi ke uma sesingena ke ngaphakathi endlini uCarlos wasememeza ke ngesizulu wathi phansi imali nama cell phone. Yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
We wish to refer you to the evidence of Mr.
I think it needs to be put in a proper perspective. The question to the witness is in relation to Carlos. And the confirmation is to the effect that that is what the witness said. The witness said that is Carlos who said that, or is the person who they said was wearing some dreadlocks who said that statement. I think it needs to be put in a proper perspective.
Yes, sir.
I'm really baffled. I don't understand that objection. We putting on record what is stated. It is no one else but my learned friend who said we shouldn't travel beyond what is in the statement. Now we read out what is stated here. Now he wants us to put an interpretation to a statement which he said we mustn't do. But be that as may, my lord, I think it is a perfectly permissible question to the witness just to quote the context of the confession and to ask him to
Yes,
to
proceed.
comment.
Let's hear you.
As a court pleases. Now, we wish to refer you to the evidence of Mr. Twala, Ntokozizi Twala, given on the 2nd of August 2023 at page 37 from line 16 to 22. If you can just place that evidence on record.
Yes, indeed, my lord. It is page 37 of the record of the 2nd of August, yes, 2023. Mr. Twala, as I say that person, the first person that appeared from the person appeared to here. Mr. Baloyi, the witness pointing to the opening again. Mr. Twala, what then happened when this person appeared? This person masked behind Kelly. Marod, I'm reading it verbatim here. This person masked behind Kelly, and then what I did is I looked at Senzo. What I remember is that the person demanded phones and money.
Lana ke ufunda ke ubufakazi bakhe uNthokozisi Twala bange-2 zika August ngo-2023 nanjengoba ngishilo ke loyo muntu loyo umuntu wokuqala owavela ke umuntu ke owavela umnumzana Baloyi ufakazi ke ukhomba ke la ekuvulekile khona futhi uThwala okwenzeka ke ukuthi uma lo muntu evela lo muntu lona emuva kokhevi ngase ngibheka usenzo engikukhumbulayo ukuthi ke umuntu loyo wafuna amafoni nemali
Then the evidence of Ms. Zandi Kumalo, given on the 21st of July 2023, page 17 of the record, lines 9 to 12, in cross-examination by Advocate Nisi. Just put it.
Yes, my lord. So I'll start with the cross-examination by Mr. Mnisi. Then one of them says he produced a firearm in front of you, and he says money and cell phones, but he is saying that in Zulu. Ms. Kumalo, yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
Lana ke Advocate Mnisi ke ebuza yena ke uZandi Khumalo wabe omunye wabo ke esho wakhipha ke isibhamu phambi kwakho wabe sethi imali nama cell phones kodwa ekusho lokho ngesizulu yebo kuyiqiniso.
Then just on this, lastly on this aspect, the evidence of Mr. Tumelo Madlala on the 7th of August 2023, page 16 of the record, from line 5 up to 8. Can you just place that on record?
Indeed, my lord, it reads as follows. Mr. Madlala, under Mr. Madlala, he had dreadlocks on the head and was also wearing a hat. Now, one thing that he actually wanted was the phones and the money, and with the wielded firearm and big eyes or widened eyes.
Lana ke ufunda ubufakazi bakhe uTumelo Madlala bange 7 August 2023. Yebo into eyodwa ke awayeyifuna kwaku ama cell phones kanye nemali futhi ke ephethe ke isibhamu enamehlo ke amakhulu noma enamehlo yebo amakhulu noma ke amehlo ke agqamile.
Then in just above that paragraph that we have quoted, the following is...
Sorry. Oh, I didn't bet. Oh, wayenama dreadlocks ekhanda futhi ke ethwele nesigqoko. Sorry.
Just above the portion that we've just quoted, there's a portion that says, I went in with Carlos and others took their positions as discussed during the planning. When we entered the house, Carlos shouted. You've explained how you connect that name to accused number 3, is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Lana ke kunale ndawo athi sangena ke endlini mina ke no Carlos wasememeza ke ubusushilo ke ukuthi lela gama olihlanganisa kanjani nomsolo wesithathu yebo kuyiqiniso.
In this regard, we wish to refer you to the evidence of Constable S. Zungu on the 8th of September 2023 from line 18 to 21, continuing to page 43, line 1 to 4. Can you place that on record?
I'm baffled to use the state's words as to what is it that the state is actually trying to demonstrate here. Is it trying to indicate that this confession should also be, or the content of the confession should also be used as against the other accused that are mentioned here? Because it keeps on referring to the other accused. The law is very specific, my lord, that it can be used. But now I'm just wondering, what is the relevance of keep on referring to the names of the other people whose names are also mentioned in the confession here, if the aim is not to have the confession used against them? Maybe the state needs to explain that, because from where I'm standing, all that what the state is doing here constitutes irrelevant and inadmissible evidence.
No, that's not how I understand
Yes,
the
my lord.
evidence.
Yes.
The law is clear, as we all know, that the
As it
confession
is
can be
recorded.
used against
Yes.
another co-accused. But
Yes.
there's nothing debarring the state from quoting what the confessor said
Yes.
in the presence of whoever.
Yes, my lord.
That's a
But
different
now,
aspect.
then what's the purpose for
I
that?
don't know. You must ask him.
That is the reason why I'm standing up, my lord. Exactly.
Indeed, my lord, we have put on record the proposition by Mr. Mgomezulu, who says that Brigadier Gininda came with a statement that was already written, and a name is mentioned here. Now, we're just referring to the record, my lord, to indicate the origin of the name, that it has got nothing to do with Brigadier Gininda, but just to merely explain what the source of that name is. We're not saying that evidence is admissible against accused number 3. We're just quoting the passage to show the origin of the name. That is the whole purpose.
Yeah, but let's
Yes.
continue, sir.
As a court, please, can you just place that on record?
Okay, so it reads as follows, my lord. He introduced Carlos, who is known to me as Gadla, whose real name is Mtobisi Ngube, and also referred to him as Buthelezi boy.
Yeah, you can just.
Lana-
Yeah, you can just proceed to the next page.
Okay, sir.
Buthelezi boy, whose real okay.
The next page.
Yeah. Just start. I want to start where it starts. This. I did not need an introduction to Musica Ukulela Sibiya. Carlos, known as Gadla, whose real name is Mtobi Singube, and we referred to him at times as Buthelezi boy. And Sinakona.
Thank you. That's enough. Thank you.
This is Zungu.
Lana-ke statement lesi sika S Zungu wethula noma-ke awamethula-ke kumina uCarlos engimazi nanjengogadla, igama lakhe-ke langempela kuMthobisi Ncube, futhi-ke uma ebizwa kuthiwa umfana kwaButhelezi. Sasingekho-ke isidingo sokuthi-ke ethule umuzi kawukhulelwa Sibiya, uCarlos engimazi nanjengogadla, igama lakhe-ke langempela kuMthobisi Ncube, futhi-ke uma simbiza-ke sithi mfana akaButhelezi noSinakhose Sibiya.
Thank you. We can then continue from where you.
Sizodlula-ke manje lapho sizoqala-ke ngobufakazi-ke mayelana naye-ke umsolwa wesibili.
Right. Now, Brigadier Gininda, you've already confirmed your testimony in the trial within a trial, in which you also testified about the circumstances under which accused number 2 was arrested.
That is correct, my lord.
Let's talk about the evidence that is being given by Gininda and Baloyi. I want us to look at a few clips in this, whereby Gininda is reading from what Baloyi asked him to read. He reads about how these people came into the house, the intruders. He talked about brandishing the gun and asking for money and cell phones. But because it should be put on record, because they know that the gun is not the right gun that has been tested. They know that the eyewitness said it was a revolver. But what they are doing, they don't want to name the revolver because they know that they did not produce what they took to the ballistic laboratory. It was not the right gun. They talk about everything, knife, they talk about brandishing the gun, but they never name the gun, what kind of a gun. But I remember it's either Tumelo Madlala or Tumelo or Mthokozisi. One of them said the gun was black in color with a wheel in the middle. That is an eyewitness who saw the gun. But for them to have a really concrete evidence, because they are doubting their evidence, that this is not the right people that we have arrested, but now they decide not to say the gun that was used there, as per Mthokozisi Twala, said the gun that was there was black and it had a wheel. because he didn't know what kind of a gun, because he said he's not familiar with guns, but he knows that it had a wheel in the middle, which means it's a gun that does not leave cartridges. As much as we know, there were no cartridges that were found in the house. Only the bullet was found. So, as we know that the projectile was found there, it shows very well that we are dealing with crooks in that court, and the judge is scared of them. Whoever is being protected, it will come to an end. I think we are about to see the sun in that tunnel. It's been so dark. We've moved in a dark tunnel, but because Senzo is not sleeping, until uzawuresta the day the right culprits are held and brought to justice. Because now, what we are seeing that is playing on in court and things that are happening, it shows that this door is closing slowly, and it will shut them in. What do you think, family, about this evidence that has been given here and what the judge did? The judge made a big mistake. When he confronted Brigadier Gininda for giving evidence like he was writing the judgment, when Advocate Mnisi warned this guy, what did the judge do? After Mnisi warned, then they gave him a chance. Then Baloyi had to ask this guy, instead of answering Baloyi whatever he was asking him to read, he decided to come and attack Mnisi. After finishing attacking Mnisi, instead of the judge to say, no, you can't do that, this is a court, Brigadier Gininda, you cannot do this. But the judge gave Brigadier Gininda a chance to talk until he finished. When it was the turn for the judge to talk about what Gininda was doing, he decided to give a smile to Gininda. He looked at Gininda, then stood up and walked and said, I think now it's time, let's go for break. He has never called for break. Every time the defense called for break, most of the time, he will say, oh, let's go. So the case has delayed so much. But because Brigadier was talking something that was very stupid in court, he is doing what a witness is not supposed to do in court. But the judge knows what is the deal between him and Gininda, and he cannot throw Gininda under the bus because they have their own deal. What do you think, family, about this? Drop your comment. Respectfully, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ngithi bantu bakithi usenzo akalalanga uguqeka amadolo, and uzawuze aphumule the day kuboshwa abantu abafanele. Until that day, he will never rest wherever he is. Let's hope for the best. Let's keep flooding the social media, because they are watching what we are doing, and we are poking on their mistakes that they are doing in court, and we will get justice at the end of the day, and we will celebrate. Bravo.